Welcome to Under Glass. My name is Ryan Douglas, and today's episode, Culture as a Production Tax. In larger greenhouses, there's a growing belief that culture is something that can be designed from the outside, and it rarely is, right? When you try to manage company culture that way, it often results in some kind of an operational problem, and HR almost always makes things worse. So on paper, HR programs are designed to build company culture through things like engagement, employee recognition, alignment of the workforce with the company's goals and values. But in practice, these programs often do something very different. They pull managers off the production floor. They force them to enforce decisions they don't agree with, and they create divisions that didn't exist the day before. So I've seen this firsthand. I ran a greenhouse for a company that decided to celebrate its legacy by giving out commemorative hats. So who doesn't want a brand new hat inside of a sunny glass greenhouse, right? Simple idea, harmless. Until HR decided that not everybody should get one. So some employees were included, others weren't. So think about this. Same greenhouse, same work, same conditions, different treatment. And they wanted us to roll this out in the middle of our morning meeting in front of everybody. So as you can imagine, the managers pushed back, and they pushed back hard because they knew exactly what was going to happen, right? They would create divisions among people that depended on each other to get through the workday. And that decision wasn't made in the greenhouse, right? That was made by someone in HR in a corner office in a building in another state that had never set foot inside that greenhouse or worked alongside the very people that program was going to affect, right? But still, it had to be enforced, and enforced under the threat of disciplinary action from HR if they didn't do it. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So instead of focusing on production, now the managers were off of the floor in HR meetings trying to stop something they knew would hurt the operation. But when it finally rolled out, that's exactly what happened. Morale dropped, production slowed down, trust kind of started to erode. And think about it, it wasn't because of the crop, it wasn't because of market conditions, it was because of a hat. So this is what corporate interference in a commercial greenhouse looks like. It doesn't show up as a major failure. It shows up as unnecessary friction in the form of lost time, distracted managers, disengaged employees. And in a low margin business, that's not culture. It's like a production tax. So the issue isn't engagement, it's distance. And the further that decision maker is from the greenhouse floor, the more expensive that decision becomes.